but they headed for the doors more quickly. Even presumably stolid people, like farmers, show the same propensity. Farmers who believe in global warming, for instance, have been shown to remember temperatures as being warmer than those recorded in statistical tables. And what about farmers who do not believe in global warming? They remembered the temperatures that were colder than those in the record books. What's important about these examples is not that we think a trucker is fatter than a dancer, or that temperatures are warmer than they used to be, unless, of course, you like to bet on these kinds of things. What's important is that these effects occur largely outside of our consciousness. We're biased. We just don't know we're biased. Some of these tendencies are so strong that even when we do know about them, we find it hard to correct for them. A practical example involves the power of first impressions. Nearly 80 years of research on answer changing shows that most answer changes are from wrong to right, and that most people who change their answers usually improve their test scores. One comprehensive review examined 33 studies of answer changing. In not one were test takers hurt, on average, by changing their answers. And yet, even after students are told of these results, they still tend to stick with their first answers. Investors, by the way, show the same tendencies when it comes to stocks. Even after learning that their reason for picking a stock might be wrong, they still tended to stick with their initial choice 70% of the time. We take the good with the bad. Biases like these seem to be deeply ingrained in us. Many of the qualities that allow us to do so many things so well contain flip sides that predispose us to error. We happen to be very good, for instance, at quickly sizing up a situation. Within a tenth of a second or so after looking at a scene, we are usually able to extract its meaning, or gist. The price we pay for this rapid-fire analysis is that we miss a lot of details. Where the problem comes in is that we don't think we've missed anything. We think we've seen it all, but we haven't. An obvious example comes from Hollywood. Movies are typically made on film composed of individual frames that are exposed at a rate of 24 frames per second. But when the film is projected onto a screen, we don't see still pictures, we see motion pictures. This is a good error, of course, and we don't mind making it. In fact, we usually enjoy it. But a similar visual error, committed by the doctor who looks at our x-rays for signs of cancer, or the airport security agent who looks for bombs in our luggage, can have deadly consequences. And, as we'll see, they miss quite a lot of what they're looking for. The world around us isn't helping. Simply put, most of us aren't wired the way we think we're wired. But much of the world around us is designed as if we were. We are asked, for instance, to memorize countless passwords, PINs, and usernames. Yet our memory for this type of information is lousy. In one test, 30% of people had forgotten their passwords after just 1 week. In another test, after 3 months, at least 65% of passwords were forgotten. Or we are pushed to our limits by lives that demand multitasking, even though the number of things we can do at once is very limited. Exactly how many things depends in part on the type of thing being done. But in general, the limitations of human short-term memory are such that we should not be required to remember more than about 5 unrelated items at one time. How many things does your car require you to remember? Onboard navigation system, cruise control, anti-collision warning device, blind spot warning device, rear view camera, entertainment system for the kids, MP3 player, cell phone. Cars now come with so many of these devices that the systems themselves are contributing to accidents because they increase driver distraction. Yet who gets blamed for the accident, you or the car? The misattribution of blame is one reason we make the same mistakes over and over again. We learn so little from experience because we often blame the wrong cause. When something goes wrong, especially something big, the natural tendency is to lay blame. But it isn't always easy to figure out where the fault lies. If the mistake is big enough,